We are flying through a massive canyon of ice. And it's not some virtual reality game. This is a 3D map of a real place. This vast crevice cuts through a huge floating plain of ice in West Antarctica. It's called the Pine Island Glacier Ice Shelf. And what you're seeing is the first stage in the birth of a huge iceberg. It'll be about 350 square miles. That's about 15 times the size of Manhattan. NASA scientists discovered this icy rift in a kind of happy accident.
2 weeks ago, we had another mission over Pine Island Glacier, and when looking out of the window of the aircraft, we noticed a fairly large crack in the ice shelf.
These things happen on a semi-regular basis in both the Arctic and the Antarctic, but it's still a fairly large event. So what we do is we modified the existing flight plan to add about an extra half an hour to the flight in order to get mainly a LiDAR and photographic map of the exact shape, depth of the rift, and the width of it to see how it's developing over time.
Scientists made this animation from photographs and topographic data taken on that flight. Giant icebergs break off and float away pretty regularly, about every 5 to 10 years, depending on the ice shelf. It's a process called calving. Satellites caught this ice shelf calving giant icebergs in 2001 and again in 2007. But nobody had ever observed or measured this process at such close range.
A lot of times when you're in science, you don't get a chance to catch the big stories as they happen because you're not there at the right place at the right time. But this time we were. And these are discrete events in time. They process that take place over a period of just a few weeks. And we just happened to be here at the right window in time to catch it.
In these images, the icy rift stretches for more than 18 miles. It's about 240 feet across, 820 feet at its widest point, and it's almost 200 feet deep. But that's actually only a scratch in the Pine Island Glacier ice shelf, which is enormous, 1,200 square miles and 1,600 feet thick. Scientists have observed that the whole Pine Island Glacier is losing mass faster than many scientists thought was possible, and the movement of the entire glacier is also speeding up. When a glacier speeds up, it moves more and more ice off of Antarctica and into the ocean. That raises sea levels, well, everywhere. In fact, some consider Pine Island Glacier to be ground zero for investigations into why West Antarctica's ice is disappearing. But scientists say the birth of the ice shelf's newest iceberg by itself isn't cause for alarm. Really, it's part of a totally natural cycle. And when this giant iceberg does break away, at least the satellites and the scientists will be around to see it. For Our Amazing Planet, I'm Andrea Mustaine.